One day they're texting you, nonstop, good morning messages, late night conversations, inside jokes, future plans. And then, nothing. No explanation, no closure, no goodbye, just silence. And the worst part, you don't just lose the person. You lose your sense of clarity. You start replaying everything. What did I say wrong? Did I come off too strong? Were they talking to someone else? Was any of it real? Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Ghosting usually says more about their psychology than your worth. But to understand that, we need to break down why people disappear in the first place. First reason, avoidance. Some people are deeply uncomfortable with conflict or uncomfortable emotions. Telling someone I'm not interested anymore requires courage. It requires tolerating guilt. It requires seeing disappointment in someone else's response. For avoidant personalities, that feels overwhelming. So instead of having a difficult conversation, they choose the path that protects them emotionally. Silence. Ghosting becomes emotional. It's not mature, it's not respectful. But psychologically, it feels safer to them than confrontation. Second reason, emotional impulsivity. In the early stages of connection, attraction can be intense. Dopamine is high. Everything feels exciting. But for some people, once the novelty fades or reality sets in, their interest drops just as quickly. Instead of communicating that shift, they disappear. Why? Because they were attached to the feeling, not the commitment. They liked how you made them feel in the moment. But when maintaining connection required effort, depth, or vulnerability, they checked out. Third reason, fear of intimacy. This is the one people rarely talk about. Some individuals genuinely enjoy connection until it starts becoming real. When conversations deepen, when emotions are involved, when expectations form, that's when their nervous system goes into threat mode. Closeness can feel dangerous if someone has unresolved attachment wounds. Instead of leaning in, they pull away completely. To you, it feels sudden. To them, it feels like escape. Fourth reason, option overload. Modern dating culture creates an illusion of endless choice. Apps, DMS, social media, there's always someone new, a swipe away. And when people believe there are unlimited options, they treat connections as disposable. It becomes easier to leave than to invest. Why communicate discomfort when you can just move on? But here's what ghosting does psychologically, especially to the person being ghosted. It creates cognitive dissonance. Your brain struggles when behavior doesn't match prior intimacy. If someone showed care, consistency, and affection and then disappears, your mind searches for meaning. Humans need closure. When there's no clear ending, your brain keeps the story open. You replay memories. You analyze details. You hold on to hope. Silence becomes louder than words. And this is where self-doubt creeps in. Because when someone leaves without explanation, your brain fills in the blank. And most people fill it with self-blame. I wasn't attractive enough. I talked too much. I got attached too fast. It wasn't enough. But here's the reality. Emotionally healthy people communicate, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's brief, even if it's awkward. Ghosting is often a sign of emotional immaturity, avoidance, or internal confusion. Not your inadequacy. That doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Ghosting triggers rejection, pain in the brain. Studies show that social rejection activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. So if it feels intense, that's not weakness. That's biology. But here's the empowering shift. Rejection without explanation is still rejection. Instead of asking, why wasn't I enough? Ask, why would I want someone who handles connection like that? Because disappearing without communication is information. It tells you how they deal with discomfort. It tells you how they manage responsibility. It tells you how they show up when things get real. And that information is valuable. Ghosting hurts because it attacks your sense of certainty. But it also reveals something powerful. Anyone who can vanish without a conversation was never emotionally available enough to stay. So if someone disappears, let their silence speak. Not as a reflection of your value, but as a reflection of their capacity. Because the right person won't leave you guessing. They won't leave you decoding silence. They won't leave you questioning your worth. They'll communicate. And until then, remember, being ghosted doesn't mean you were too much. Sometimes it means they weren't enough.